Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I will set up the Zoom.
Yeah.
Then we can
So
attend
now
class.
let's go to the kind of a topic which is called as a simple future tense. And when we talk about future tense, what do we draw here? We find out that there are, like other tenses, we have also means four types of sentences, and you could find out the first one is called as a simple future tense, and the second one is a continuous tense, and the third one is a perfect future tense, and fourth one is perfect continuous future tense, right? Future perfect continuous. So in all total, if you talk about the first one, simple future, if you say that I shall go to London, they will go to London. So we generally know that we use a shall or will when we talk about future tense. So shall go and will go. Um, then the second one is called as a continuous, in which we will find out shall be going, or you can say that will be going, isn't it? I shall be going to London, or they shall be going to London. In that is what we can
Yes, sir.
draw. The third one, which is called as a perfect, and when we talk about perfect, we talk about the completion. And here we find out the shall have gone, or you can say will have gone. So in that case, perfect future clearly indicating that any action which is not completed, but imagine is what? That it is going to or will have completed in the future. So perfect continuous indicates about any of the action, again, started in the past, continued in the present, and we don't know its completion in the future, or maybe called as we don't know its um, continuing in the present or not, but we are not even uh, have any idea whether it is going to complete when. So we simply think of it what? He shall have been going to London. It means in future, in particular time, certain action will have or shall have been going on. That is what it is appointed. Okay. Uh, Coming to the
Okay.
next one, uh, the simple future that you can find out here, we will discuss in a briefly manner. Now, if you observe that, uh, sorry, the simple future tense coming with a kind of means, conversation between two cartoon character, you can see simple future tense. The first one is stated, I am so sleepy and tired. Now you can say that it is written in the present state or present action. Whereas if I look into the future one where it is stated, I will get you some coffee. It means here the coffee is not present, but somebody is stated that what he or she will get uh, some coffee for the other one. So the first one is indicating the present action, where the present action clearly indicating that somebody is sleepy uh, and tired, whereas the other one is indicating the future action. So where one is saying one has not yet made coffee, or one has not yet hold the coffee. So one is going to or will get some coffee for other. So the functions of the simple future tense, right? That what? The simple future refers to a time later than now. The simple future refers to what? A time later than now. It means it is not present, and expresses of facts or certainty. Expresses what? Facts or certainty. It means you can say that it may be a kind of a surety, or it may be a kind of a fact, isn't it? Now,
Yes, sir.
coming to the kind of a discussion here.
Sir,
Yes.
the previous slide, what is said refers to?
Fact or certainty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Go. So, yes. So, in that case, you can point out certainty or facts, isn't it? Uh,
Yes, sir.
now coming to the next one. If I talk about that simple future tense in a broadly manner, So what do we draw here? We can see that simple future tense formed by using the what? Auxiliary verb, right? What is that auxiliary verb? The auxiliary verb is called as a will and shall, or will or shall. So which are followed by the, or which is followed by the base form of the main verb. What do you mean by base form? The base form may be called as a go, which is a base form. So we find out that go, went, gone. So base form is the go, and the past form of went, and the past participle is called as a gone. So here you would find out means will or shall are the auxiliary verbs, and they generally use with the what? Base form of the main verb, that is called as a go. Right. Let's look into the example. I will go to the store tomorrow. Right. I will go to the store tomorrow. So what do we find out? Will and go both are used. Will is a auxiliary and go is the base form. So we are using for that what? Shall. So if we look into the shall, we can say shall is less commonly used in modern English and is typically used with what? Now, I and we. For you can say that suggestions, offers, or polite inquiries. Did you get the point? So where do we use I and we? We use I and we. If we use it in the future, then we can say that it is used for the suggestions, offers, and polite inquiries. Got my point?
Sir, means like you said that will or shall can be used nowadays. Means in modern English, we use more will than shall, and when it in case of shall, it is for means we use it with I and we for suggestions, offers, and polite inquiries.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So is it written the kind of a things? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So I pointed that will or shall followed by the base form of the main verb, and they generally use in the simple future tense, right? That is the first point. Second is called as a, I give you example, I will go to the store tomorrow, right? Then after I talk about using shall, observe that using shall is less commonly used in modern English than you can say that more than will, right? It means more will is very common, whereas a shall is less common. Understood?
Okay, okay. Yes, sir.
So now and shall is used mostly on where? Now I and we. Why? Now, because of the suggestion. Let's say that you can say that we shall study today. Right? We shall study today means it's a kind of a suggestion we are giving. Right? We also say that I shall go to school. So in that case, means it's a kind of a suggestion. Right? I shall take you to the cinema. It's an offer. Right? I shall take you to the means cinema. That's an offer. Right?
Yes,
We shall means we shall take tea. We shall take tea. It's a kind of a polite you can say that offer also again. Now, polite inquiries, if you talk about polite inquiry, you can say that, shall I take your book? Shall I take your book? It's a polite inquiry, isn't it?
yes, sir.
So, and you can also see that, shall we go for a walk? What is it? It is again called as a, means you can take it as a polite inquiry as it is a making a question, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, coming to the next one. The next one is indicated about what? Using will. So if you talk about using will, what do we use? Means will is commonly used to express what? Observe that future actions, predictions, promises, offer, and spontaneous decisions. Got my point? So where do we use will? Will is commonly used to express what? Future actions, predictions, promises, offers, spontaneous decisions. Example like, she will be there by 3 o'clock. She will be there by 3 p.m. So in that, yeah, it's a kind of a prediction you are making, right? So you can also say that the promises means she will be there by 3 p.m. can be also known as a promises, but more it indicates about the prediction, and also you can talk about what uh, a kind of means future actions also, right? And like you can also make a kind of a statement. Um, uh, he will give me my money back. He will give me my money back. So it's a kind of a promises, right? So our spontaneous decision, like what they will come tomorrow, right? It's a kind of a spontaneous decision they have made, isn't it?
A spontaneous decision is like what we can say.
Spontaneous decision is called as a kind of a decision which has happened means automatically, right? Let's say that
Oh,
means we don't have plan tomorrow, and we are simply making a kind of a plan like we will meet you in evening, right? We will meet you in evening. So it's not a kind of a decision which has already planned. It's a kind of a decision which is means spontaneously made it. Understood?
yes, sir.
Coming to the next one is called as a used to or going to form. When you are talking about using going to form, so this form indicates what? Intentions, plans, or predictions based on present evidence, right? Let's say that, uh, yeah. So when we are talking about plans, prediction based on the present evidence, so you also find out that any kind of a plan you are making. Let's say that Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, is going to reach Bhubaneswar at 3 o'clock or at 8 o'clock, or going to Bhubaneswar at 8 o'clock. So in that case, is going to form. You are using what? The word called as a is going to form, which is a plan, or called as a Mr. Modi is going to visit where? Going to visit, you can say Balangir, or you can say that Koraput. It's a kind of a plan also in that evening. So when you are saying that plans or prediction based on present evidence, you use the term, right, is going to form, or called as am going to form, or you talk about are going to form. So it is formed by using the verb to be. So to be plus going to plus base form of the main verb. Let's say that they
Yes, sir.
are going to buy a new car. They are going to buy a new car next month. So what is it indicated? It is indicated the intentions, it is indicated the plans, or it is going to be a kind of a prediction for one, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So means like it is going to be a prediction which is going to occur in future. Yeah, it's a prediction.
It is also a plan. They are going to buy a new car. So for them, it is a plan.
Yeah, it is a plan.
So it is also kind of an intention. So they have not bought a car, but they have a plan of what? Buying the car in next month. Intention.
Okay. Yes, sir. They have the intention to buy the car.
Yeah. So the next one is called as a future continuous tense, where we talk about that future continuous tense formed by using the future tense of the verb to be, right? So in that case, remember, we have done the simple future. Now we are discussing what? Future continuous tense. And in future
Yes.
continuous tense, what do we say? It is formed by using the future tense of the verb to be, right? To be formed. Will be or shall be, will be or shall be plus present participle ing form. So it means what? Look into it. They will be or shall be. Then after present participle is called as a verb with ing, studying. Studying for their exams tomorrow. So what did you find out? They will be studying for their exams tomorrow. So you will also say that this time next month, I will still be teaching in Paria, right? Now in that case, again, you will find out will, then after be, then after present participle teaching. So they will be studying for their exams tomorrow, or means I will be teaching in Paria. So this is indicating that the action means will be going on, will be going on in future in a certain time. Got my point? So if you say that they will
Yes,
be
sir.
studying for their exams tomorrow, it means it is indicating in future tomorrow at this time or particular time. So they will be studying, isn't it?
Okay.
So the next one is called as decisions before the moment of speaking. Like you can talk about that. You can say that the kind of decisions, like for my birthday, I am going to. I'm going to invite a lot of people. It means I have the intention of inviting a lot of people, or you can say that a plan, intention, plan, or you can say the kind of a possibility, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next one, uh, future perfect tense. So we talk about what? Simple future, future continuous. So in simple future, we talk about will or shall, and in future continuous, we are talking about each means will be teaching or shall be teaching, and in future continuous, we also talk about going to form or is going to form. Got my point?
Okay.
Now,
Yes, sir.
the next one is called as a future perfect tense. So when you talk about future perfect tense, so what do we find out in a future perfect tense? We used to express actions that will be completed. Please do understand that we use future perfect tense for what? Now, indicating any action will be completed before a specific point in the future, right? Let's say that if I say by the end of the year, I will have graduated from university. So what have you used? You use the term called as a will have and past participle. That's called as a graduate, become graduated. So we generally say have graduated. We have graduated in a present perfect, but in future perfect, we use what? Will have graduated. So it means it is not completed, but will have completed by the end of the year. Let's say that 2025 means who? You can say that Tanmay will have completed his class 10 exams, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So next is called as we also talk about the another example which is called next month they will have. Next month they will have uh, lived in their new house. It means they have not yet lived in their new house, but you are stating that what they will have lived in their new house for a year, or you can say that they will have lived in their new house uh, by the end of the next month, or you can say next month they will have lived in their new house for a year. It means they will have completed their 1 year, isn't it? In the next month. Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the next one. So, like you can see that it is given a kind of a example where it is clearly stated, uh, I will have finished work at 6 o'clock. It means my works have not yet finished. I will have finished work at 6 o'clock. It means you have given a kind of a time duration. You have just given a kind of a dead end or deadline that at 6 o'clock my work will or my I will have finished my work, or my works uh, will have been finished at that time, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the next one, which is called as a future perfect continuous tense. Now, when we talk about future perfect and future perfect continuous, so we find out a little difference here. So, if you say that it is stated future perfect continuous tense. So, what this future perfect continuous tense tells, it is stated that it is formed by using the future perfect tense of the verb that's known as a to be, right? or will have been or shall have been plus present participle, that is known as a ing form of the main verb, right? Let's say that the example is given by next summer. they will have they will have been living in that house for 10 years. So again you would find out the same kind of a example that you find out in a present perfect, but in future perfect. But in future perfect continuous, it is given what? By next summer they will have been living in that house for 10 years. It clearly indicates that means they will continue in the future, but in future certain period of time or next summer, so means um, they will they're leaving to that particular place will have been completing 10 years. So maybe called as a today it is something called as a not 10 years, 9 years or 6 months. By next month it is going to complete, or called as it will have been leaving, or they will have been living in that house, right? So this gives a very simple idea that called as any action which is not finished, it becomes continue in the future, right? So in a particular period of time it will have been continuing as a 10 years. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yes.
Sir, it means that in future perfect continuous and future continuous, what the certain difference is between these two?
So when you talk about future perfect, it gives us the kind of imagination that it is a completion one, right? Completion. Perfect means completed. But when you use that future perfect continuous, it indicates that their action will have there and continue in the future as well, right? That is the region. If you talk about future perfect and future perfect continuous, we don't find out much difference. Like we don't find out much difference in a present perfect and present perfect continuous, and past perfect and past perfect continuous. But the thought is called as a means a present perfect and present perfect continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous, and present past perfect and past perfect continuous. Clearly gives us the means minute details about what? Now, completion at the present situation or at the past situation, or at the particular in a future situation. But future continuous, past perfect continuous, and also present perfect continuous give us the idea that it is not telling us to completion, it is telling about that in the certain period of time, it will also completed and then after continue after that, right? Completed and continue after that. That is what the idea you can draw.
Okay, means continuous means it's just continuing.
Yes.
But when it comes to perfect continuous, it is completed and then again continuing.
Yes.
Completed again.
Yeah, because you have given the time period of 10 years. So after
Yes,
you will find out that it completed in that summertime, 10 years, and then after it continues after that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the last one, it is stated, remember that there are also certain time expressions. So that are commonly used with the future tense, such as you would find out tomorrow, next week, in 2 years, right? By the next year or by the end of this. So these help to specify when the action will take place, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the next one, it's nothing but a kind of complete details about it. Look into it. When you talk about the idea, it is stated simple future. Uh, this tense is used for action that will happen in the future without any intention of emphasize or prediction. Without any intention of what? Emphasize or prediction. You cannot predict it. It is a fact or certainty. So therefore, you can point out she will visit her grandmother next Sunday, right? So then you talk about using will. So will is, yes.
Sir, if it is future tense, so how can there be certainty?
Certainty means what? That's something called as a you have made a statement. You have made a statement, right or not?
Yes, sir.
So when you made a statement, it means you are going to do that. It is a kind of a means it is a kind of a belief, right or not?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, the statement that you made in the present, right, for the future. So obviously, it is a kind of a means a certainty, surety, or a fact, because somebody said something. So you consider what? A false. As as long as it is not happened, you cannot say that it is a prediction or emphasize.
Okay.
So similar to that, let's see that the next one, it is called as a will. Will is a versatile and can express prediction, promises, offers, or spontaneous decisions. Let's say that I think it will rain tomorrow, right? I promise I will help you with your homework. And the third, will you marry me? Or fourth one is, I will have the salad, please. Right. So in that case, what do you find out? Here you would find out the first one, I think it will rain tomorrow. So if it is written that it will rain tomorrow, so you can consider that the kind of a emphasize or prediction, right? So, sorry, if it is written that what means it is raining outside or called as a means it will rain tomorrow, you are saying to somebody, so can be called as a kind of a fact, right? If you think, if you think that it is used as a I think, it makes a kind of a means prediction already presented at the beginning. I think it will rain tomorrow. So both are called as a two different kind of a idea, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So next is called as I promise I will help you with your homework. So now you have given a kind of a promises, right? So then the third one is called as a will you marry me? It's a kind of a question. So in that case, you are offering. Then fourth one, I will have the salad, please. It is a spontaneous decision, right? Because you are eating something and you said that you don't want to eat salad, but suddenly you said that I will have the salad, please. Isn't it?
Okay. So,
So
sir, here it is showing that the uses of different that time references.
yes. So next is called as a the next one is called as a using shall. So when you talk about shall is we understood that less common and often used with I and we for suggestions, offers, or polite inquiries, right? So let's say that if you talk about suggestions, offers, or polite inquiries, shall we dance? It's a kind of a offer or a kind of a suggestion you are making to others, isn't it?
Sir, can't it be a polite inquiry, sir?
Shall we dance? Yes, you can make that. You can make that because inquiry is also indicating when you put the question, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ah. So the second example, I shall inform the authorities about this matter. Right. So I shall inform the authorities about this matter. So inform itself is also indicating a kind of a polite inquiry. Right.
Yes.
So next is called as a used going to form. So when you talk about used going to form, so what do we find out? We find out that this form indicates intentions, plans, or prediction based on present evidence. Let's say that I am going to start exercising more regularly, right? So that is something called as a what? A kind of intention, right? So I'm going to start exercise more regularly. So it is stated I'm going to, is going to, or I'm going to. Look into the next. Look at those dark clouds. It is going to rain soon. So here you are pointing the present evidence that the dark clouds give you the kind of a prediction that it is going to rain soon, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the next one, future continuous tense. So we understand that as we have already discussed, these are the things. I want to go for the, more descriptive one. So in that case, look into the future continuous. Hmm. Right. So future continuous tense stated about what? Give me a second. Why are you throwing? Go. So in that case, in future continuous, what do we find out? It is used to indicate actions that will be ongoing at a particular future time, right? Indicate action that it will be ongoing. Ongoing means at a particular time, means it is indicated that it is, let's say that if I say, in my last class, I was teaching you present and past tense, right? So present tense and past tense. Today, we are continuing future tense. So in the next class, we will be going on or we will be doing means adjectives. So in that case, what you are means what have you understood from it? It is indicated that means certain action will be going on at a particular future time. Got my point? Are
Yes,
you?
sir.
So example like what you can say at this time tomorrow, we will be flying to Paris. So you cannot write that we will fly to Paris tomorrow. Sorry, we will fly to Paris tomorrow. It is correct. But at this time, which is called as a very specific, isn't it? It is a very specific. So in that, as it is a very specific, so means you are saying that tomorrow at this time, what you will be doing? So we will be flying to Paris. If it is written that tomorrow, what you will do? So in that case, we will fly to Paris tomorrow. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So even the another example that you find out this time next week they will be celebrating their anniversary. So this time observe that the specific time. So you can say that they will celebrate their anniversary next week, right? Which has a again another meaning, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Give me a second. Yeah. Mhm. So the next one you would find out here. At this time next week, they will be celebrating their anniversary. Look into the next one, future perfect tense. Generally, future perfect tense used to express action that will be completed before a specific point. Let's add that example. By the end of the year, I will have graduated. The example you have already taken. Next month, they will have
Yes,
lived
sir.
in their new house for a year. So these two are clearly indicating means a certain action completed, right? Not continuing. So continuing will be referring future continuous. So it is indicated a specific point in the future, any action will have completed, right? But and in the future perfect continuous, you are saying that you are emphasizing the duration of an action. Emphasizing the duration of an action that will be ongoing before a specific point in the future. By the time you arrive, I will have been waiting for 2 hours, right? By the time you arrive, I will have I will have been waiting for you 2 hours means what? Now it will have already completed 2 hours in the future. In June, she will
Yes,
have been working at the company for 10 years. So these are the examples and these are the ideas are clearly indicating about means the future tense is nothing but an imagination, right? In which means if you talk about that, it can lead to the prediction, it can take you towards the means intention, it can take you to the certainty fact, it can take you to the specific point of discussion, it can take you to the means completion of the discussion, right? So those are the things. Understanding these forms and their nuance can help us to communicate effectively about future events in English. Now let me take you to the some modal verbs in future tense. So modal verbs in future tense means like I ask you a question called as we use may and so what is that? Shall and will. silent, will. Then what about this should and would? If you see that, should, would are nothing but called as a modal verbs like can, may, might, must, should, and ought to can be combined with the base form of a main verb to express future action or possibility. Example, if you talk about that, it is not only the shall or will indicates the future, right? So you also find out certain modal verbs in future tense. Let's say must finish, right? Your homework before you can go out. It means she has not finished her homework, right? And she wanted to go out. So in that case, what do you write? You when you are making a kind of a future action or possibility, you use that must instead of will or shall. You must finish your homework before you go. You can go out. Even we also talk about future time clauses. In future time clauses, we introduce by subordinate conjunctions like when, or you talk about as soon as, or you talk about until, or you talk about before, or you talk about after. So these are nothing but used to indicate when or what condition future events will occur. Let's say that I will call you when I arrive. Now, in that case, what do you find out? It is known as a future time clause.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can I also cause these means say these as time
Yes,
references?
you can also call them time reference, or you can also call them a conditional clause or conditional sentence. In conditional sentence, generally you would find out a condition is given. Like, when do you arrive? I will call you when I arrive. Isn't it? It's a kind of a condition. So here you are making a kind of a when, or here you are making a conditional clause when I arrive. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is called as a, so it's not about only when, we also talk about as soon as, we also talk about until, we also talk about before and after. Now look into the other parts, future in the past. So sometimes the future tense is used in reported speech. So we use future tense in reported speech to indicate that at the time of speaking, the future event was still in the future, right? Like we know that what is that? That is known as a uh, direct speech to indirect speech or reported speech, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in direct speech, can you say that is it a direct speech or an indirect speech? She said, "I will visit my parents next week." Is it?
Sir, she said, sir, it is a direct speech.
Yes, it is a direct speech. So in direct speech, generally, what do we find out? We find out she said, I will visit my parents next week. So the second clause, which is the independent clause, used with the what? Used with the will visit, isn't it? Will visit, and the time is given next week. So I will visit my parents next week. So if I make change that into indirect speech, so I should say that she said that she would visit her parents the following week or the coming week, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next one is indicating about future forms in conditional sentences. Like in future forms, we can use in conditional sentence to express a hypothetical future situation. Hypothetical future
Sir,
situation. Yes. Yes.
sir, can you switch the previous slide just for it's like a few 20 more seconds. I have to write it since I am just in the middle of it. Yes,
Which one?
sir.
So don't
No,
worry.
no, sir, no, sir.
I'll send you. I'll send you the PDF. Right.
Sir, just after this
I'll
slide.
send you the PDF. Why are you worried about that writing the notes? I'll send you. No. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Don't worry, I'll send you. Mm. So the thing is that we will not be able to cover it, right? So now, so the
Yes,
next,
sir. Let's continue.
yeah. So the idea is called as a what? Future time. Yeah. So I think I give you this example. Now, future time in the past. So sometimes the future tense is used in the reported speech, and we find out that uh, to indicate that at the time of speaking, the future event was still in the future, right? So in that case, we can make the sentence correct by stating that what she said, I will visit my parents next week. So it's a direct speech. And when we convert that into means indirect speech, we write that she said that she would visit her parents next week. The next one is called as a future forms in conditional sentences. So future forms can be used in a conditional sentences. Why? Now to express hypothetical future situation. So what is that hypothetical future situation? Let's say that a hypothetical means what? Something which is a possible or prediction. Let's say that if it rains tomorrow, we will stay indoors. Now, in that case, here you can find out it is a conditional sentences. How do you know that it is a conditional sentence? Because of the conditional word if is used. So if is the marker of or discourse
Yes, sir.
marker of the conditional sentence. So if it rains tomorrow, we will stay indoors. So this is a hypothetical situation. We will stay indoors if there is a rain, right? Or if it rains tomorrow. So that is what you could find out hypothetical future situation. Even you can also talk about we use will. We use will for instant decision. Like we talk about will can be used to make instant decisions or offers at the moment of speaking. Example, the phone is ringing, I will answer it. Right. The phone is ringing, I will answer it. So that is known as instant decisions. Even we also talk about
Yes, sir.
future time adverbs. Like future time adverbs, I told you certain means time indicators are there. So adverbs and adverb phrases like you can talk about soon, I will meet you soon, I will meet you later. Eventually he will give the answer. So or by then, right? So in the or in the future. So these are nothing but adverb or adverbial phrases, often accompany future tense construction to specify when the action will occur. Example, we will go to the beach later this afternoon. So what does it try to tell us? We will go to the beach later this afternoon. So in that case, here you find out later this afternoon is nothing but indicating about adverbial phrase, which is taking towards the will go. So even we also talk about future infinitive. So future infinitive is nothing but indicating about the infinitive form. Yeah. The infinitive form of verbs generally used after a certain verbs to indicate future actions or intention. Example, infinitive verb. So which one is the infinitive form of verbs? You can find out to travel, right? To travel. Let's say that it is stated he hopes to travel to Japan next year. He hopes to travel. So in that case, to travel is nothing but a infinitive form of verbs which is used after certain verbs to indicate future action. So hopes is indicating as a simple present, but at the same time, it is also indicating a kind of a future intention, future action or future intention to travel to Japan next year. So you can consider that a simple present is also known used for the future action. So future imperative. Imperative sentences can express future actions as commands or requests. Imperative sentences means what? Where we talk about desire or a kind of a command, request, or such kind of a thing. So in that case, you would find out we call them as the imperative sentence. Let's say you will finish your homework before dinner, right? So you will finish your homework before dinner. So it's a kind of a future action as commands or request, right? So in that case, we consider that you will finish. So we generally use with the called as a what? Will finish or will or shall when you talk about the future command or request. The next one you would find, yes, you want to say something?
No, sir. You can continue.
Okay. So we also have the future with the would. We can say that would can be used in conditional sentence. We generally know that the word will become would and shall become should, uh, can become could, may become might, will be used as a, means a conditional sentence in the main clause. Let's say that would can be used in conditional sentence to express hypothetical future situation or polite request. Example, if I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Now, in that case, this is nothing but a hypothetical future situation where means you just imagine that if you own the lottery, you would travel. Your desire would be travel the world. So, example, would you mind closing the window? Would you mind closing the window? So, it's a polite request, right? So, even future events with the present continuous tense, we use also future events with the present continuous tense. How? The present continuous tense can sometimes be used to talk about future arrangements or events, especially when they are fixed or planned. Let's say that if I give an example, I'm meeting Sarah for lunch. When? If you say that I'm meeting Sarah, it means right now you are meeting with Sarah. But once you are using, I'm meeting Sarah for lunch tomorrow, so the time indicator indicates that the present continuous become indicating the idea about or plan about or fixed plan about the future. Isn't it? Are you listening
Yes,
to
sir.
me? Hmm. So future, next is called as a
Yes,
future.
sir.
So future time expression with the present simple. So we also know that future time expressions can be used with present simple. How? Let's say that sometimes present simple tense is used with the future time expressions to indicate scheduled events or timetables. Example, you can say the train leaves at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So please do remember the word leaves is indicating about what? Leaves is indicating about simple present, but the time is planned or fixed in the future, right? So therefore we can say
Yes, sir.
simple present can be used for the simple present can be used for the future form, future time expression, right? And this kind of a statement can be known as a scheduled events or means timetables, isn't it? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think this too would be the ending of this session. So now you can go to the next one, which is stated future conditional perfect tense, future perfect tense or future conditional perfect tense. So when we talk about future perfect tense is used with a condition, this tense is formed by combining what? Would have, right? Would have, should have, or could have, might have. So in that case, this tense is formed by combining would have with the past participle of the main verb and is used to talk about hypothetical situations that could have occurred in the past. Let's say that example is given. If I had studied harder, if I had studied harder. So you can find out hard studied is given, which is a past perfect, and I would have passed the exam. I would have passed the exam. Now, this kind of a statement, which is clearly indicating that means a kind of a means conditional tense, which is indicating an imaginary or impossible one. So which is clearly stating that in past a certain thing if happened or if had happened, then its impact will have present in the future. Its impact will have presented in the future. So in that case, if you had studied harder in the past, so the impact would have passed the exam, right? So that's what it tries to tell us, right? So, but again, it is something indicating about the conditional rule. The rule is called as if the if condition is a past perfect, then um, the main clause becomes the future perfect or past tense of the future perfect would have, right? Future tense can be used in a relative clauses. Relative clauses can contain future tense verbs when referring to what? Future events or called as a possibilities. Let's say that relative clauses. So what is that relative clauses? You can talk about relative clauses is called as a when, where, so all such kind of a thing. So they contain future tense verbs when referring to future events or possibility. How? I will never forget the day when we first met. So here you would find out that when is indicating nothing but a means of future events or possibility. When is indicating future event or possibility, I will never forget in future. So similar to that, expressions of probability and prediction. Probability means indicating as a possibility, and prediction. Let's say that words and phrases like probably, likely, expected to, bound to, surely. These are the words and the phrases can be used to indicate future probability or prediction. Example, it will probably rain later. It will probably means not in the present, but in the future. It will probably rain means not happening at the moment. So in the future, it may happen. Right. So in that case, you need to remember these are the words. Even we have also called as a future imperfect tense. What is that future imperfect tense? Now, this tense is used to describe an ongoing action that was happening at a specific point in the past, looking forward from that past point. Example, by 5 p.m. yesterday. Please do see that by 5 p.m. yesterday, I knew that I would be working late into the night. Right. By 5 p.m. yesterday, I knew that I would be. So all these indicating about imperfect. Imperfect tense means something which you stated that means you made the plan, you executed the plan, and in future you were discussing about that plan. Right. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So the next one you would find out future interrogative. Interrogative means it's making a kind of a question. So questions about future events are formed by placing the auxiliary verb like will or shall before the subject. Will you attend the meeting tomorrow? So what does it say? Before the subject you use will or shall when you are talking about future in interrogative forms. So will you attend the meeting tomorrow? Will you means meet? Uh, will you have a lunch tomorrow at our home? So on these are the question. These are the statement clearly indicating about future interrogative forms. So understanding these additional aspects of the future tense can help you to, navigate various situations and express future actions, possibilities, and hypotheticals with perfect in English. I hope you understood these, the broad details about the future tenses and its uses in a variety of uh, areas, whether it's an reported speech or in conditional sentences. Did you understand everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts so far? Please do ask.
Sir, especially doubts, I think I don't have because all we learned about was like four types of future tenses which are there and different types of future tenses which are present. So various uses of that, like we read about uses of model auxiliaries and many more things. So means I don't think there is certain kind of doubts in that.
Okay. So I'll give you the question. I think I'll give you in the next class, not today, because I don't have much time now.
Yes, sir.
What? Yes, sir. You have